Alright, now let's add filters to the course page that will be positioned on the left side right here. The markup of this page is located inside of index.blade.php file, which is inside of courses folder. Right here we can see search field as well as grid with courses. And now I'm going to create the following structure. So let's create the div element, inside of which I'm gonna place a couple more divs. The second div is going to hold search field with the courses grid, and the first div is going to be used to contain filters. As the next step, I'm going to make it so that filters block is going to be located at the same line as course grid. So for this, let's add a couple of classes to the wrapper element. I'm going to make it flexible container, where elements are going to be positioned at the very top, and the distance between the filters as well as course grid will be 8 units. After this, let's apply a couple of classes to this element which wraps search field with courses. I'm also going to make this element flexible container, where elements are going to be positioned vertically. The distance between search field and courses will be 4 units, and the weights that this container is going to occupy will be 4/5 of the total weights of the wrapper element. And since this block is going to take 4/5 of the total weights of the wrapper element, the filters block is going to take up the rest of the free space, which is 1/5. But I also prefer that this filters block will always be visible on the page while scrolling, and to do it, I'm gonna assign sticky class to this element, which is basically going to assign position property with the value of sticky. And also I will add some offset from the top by using top24 class. And what this is going to do is it basically going to make this filters container sticky only after we scroll the page by 24 units. And here is what I mean by this. The moment we will scroll the page to the particular point, only at that point the filters block will become fixed. Alright, now let's get to work filters block itself. I'm gonna create separate component called filter, which will be located within course folder. And here, let's start with the following markup. The filters block is going to be represented by the UL element, which is going to contain one li element for now. And inside of this li element, I'm going to add checkbox element as well as text. So for now, all the filters will be simple text that we can use to filter all the courses by text. As an example, let's call the first tag Laravel. And now let's check the result in the browser. There we go. We got this first tag. So next, let's apply a couple of classes to the label element. I'm going to make the tag bolder. Also, this label will be a flexible container where elements will be positioned in a center vertically, and the distance between checkbox element and the text will be 3 units. After this, we're gonna assign huge list of classes to the checkbox element to style it properly. So let's start. The first class that I'm going to add will be size 5, which will basically apply width and height to this checkbox. Let's round corners of the checkbox. The border color will be gray with a shade of 300. The color of the checkbox will be violet with a shade of 600. And as for the focus state of this checkbox, we're going to make border color violet with a shade of 300. There will be also outer shadow, which we can add by using focus ring class, and the color of this shadow will be 200. We will also make this shadow semi-transparent by using ring opacity 50 class. And eventually, in order to remove any spacing between checkbox as well as this shadow, I'm going to use ring offset 0 class. And there we go. This is how our filters are going to look like eventually. Let's get back to the editor. I'm going to render all these filters by using for each loop. For now, let's add a couple more elements within this array and interpolate this tag variable down here to display all those filters. And that is looking good, but I prefer to increase the space in between all these list elements, and to do it, let's add a couple of classes to the UL element. This element will be a flexible container where elements are going to be positioned vertically. All those li elements will be left aligned, and the distance between them will be 4 units. And that is looking great. Next one, let's move all these list of texts outside and pass them into this component by using prop. So I'm gonna call this prop text, which will be an array of texts. One more time, let's take a look in the browser to make sure that texts are still shown as we expect to. And after this, I'm going to add a couple more elements into this array. And once this will be done, let's take a look at the list of texts once again. And here you may notice that the header is actually covered by those texts. If we're going to scroll the page to the end, and to fix this issue, we'll basically have to increase the index of the header. So let's open up header component, which is located inside of header.blade.php. And here we'll only have to add one class called z10, which will assign the index with a value of 10. And now, as you can see, that issue with the header is gone. And as for the pagination, let's go back to the editor, and here you can see that pagination is kind of located outside of the block with courses and the search. I actually prefer to show this pagination only in this area, so that it will not occupy the full width of the page. And to make it happen, we'll just have to move this line, courses, links within this div element, and this way pagination will be located exactly under a grid of courses. That's about it for this lesson. Link to the source code of this project will be in the video description.